little disappointed early. I think we made a couple fundamental mistakes early in the game, gave up that 3 spot. Really forced our hand pitching wise. We had hoped to bring those guys a little deeper. We didn't want to come in with Archie that quick, and certainly didn't want to come in with Newton that quickly, but we just got to the point it was survive. Can't think about tomorrow, we had to survive today. So I was pleased with the way the guys battled back for the most part.
Take questions.
Coach, what can you say about that resilience with the guys after giving up that 3 spot, just answering right back and just kind of fighting, clawing their way all the way to the end?
It was good. I just felt like there were some early innings that you know, sometimes your body's taking off season, but your mind should never have an off season. I just felt like we were chasing some pitches and doing some things to really help them out in that early part of the game when they really weren't throwing a ton of strikes and we were swinging at 3-2 in the dirt and some other things. And I like the battle, but you got to be smart in battle.
What can you say about Carter Murphy? Obviously getting a lot more opportunities down the stretch with Greco being out. He hits a ball that probably still hasn't hit the ground yet, but man, he's giving you some real big time at bats down the stretch.
He's done a great job. I mean, I think anybody that's got to step in behind Greco and what he's meant to our team is you're stepping into a big hole, and he's done a really good job. I'm not saying we don't miss Sebastian because we do, but Carter's certainly helped alleviate that for sure.
And what about, you and I have talked about Rafael Betancourt. I mean, it's a slow start to the season, but how nice is it to be able to see a guy like that, come up with a knock there to give you guys the win?
Well, he's the one guy in that situation that he's probably not going to chase. He's going to make you throw something in the zone. So we felt really good about him being there. Just didn't want him to hit it to somebody because that's a double play for sure. But you knew he was going to make the pitcher work and put something in the zone. That was ended up being a big knock for us.
Coach, in Austin Newton's last 4 outings, he's only allowed 2 hits. What has been working for him recently that's made him so effective?
I think, obviously he's rested. He missed the front part of the season, so he's got a fresh arm, which certainly helps this time of year. You're seeing a lot of pitchers coming out of the pen and starting games that aren't so fresh. So I think he's fresh for sure, and I think he and Coach Schlereth really went to work on that slider. It's a difference maker for him. The slider was really sharp tonight.
And looking forward to tomorrow, what's your keys for success to make it to Sunday?
We got to figure out a way to shorten the game the best we can. Our availability is getting smaller and smaller down there in that bullpen. So we need some guys to step up and really give us some innings. When I say shorten the game, we got to figure out how to get 5 in each one of those games because I like the guys that we'll have behind. We just can't jump in there so early that we get caught like we did tonight.
Coach, looking at tomorrow, as a team I was really familiar with ending the regular season against, played them again Tuesday. What can you take away from that series to end the year going into tomorrow? What benefits and disadvantages does it have?
I think the advantages are you've seen someone so much here recently that you have a pretty good feel of what everybody's going to do. And tonight was the same thing. I think the reality is, we don't shuffle on a comebacker and throw it firm to second base. We're to the bag late, so we're running through second base. We don't field a bunt, square it up to the foul line. You got to play fundamental baseball this time of year. You just can't forget that the little things are going to add up to the big things right now. And it's going to be really good fundamental baseball that will dictate the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, Jared Morris, Team Baseball. Charlotte cuts it to 1 in the 9th. Was there any thought of taking Newton out, or were you just going to ride with your guy?
We were going to live with that. And I think the reality is we had some guys throwing